Welcome to Northern Vibes, your go-to podcast for everything Northern Denver.
From everything Denver to Fort Collins, we're your local real estate experts shining a light on the incredible quality of life in the area.
We're going to cover local businesses, attractions, events, and interviews with experts, all while educating and empowering you to understand why the Northern Denver area is the best place to be.
Amen, sister.
You bet.
Hi there today. This is Ann Wymore with Navigate Realty. My co-host today is
Wilson Miller with the direct lending team.
and our wonderful guest star, Lisa. Lisa, where are you coming from?
I'm from the Museum of Art, Fort Collins.
Ooh, so we just want to say thank you for joining us on Northern Vibes, all things Northern Denver.
We're here to network and expose local
Absolutely.
going-ons and businesses.
So Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about the art museum there in Fort Collins?
Of course. So it's a wonderful regional art museum right in the downtown heart of Old Town. We're in a beautiful, 1911 old post office building. And
Gorgeous.
yeah, it really is. It's just one of the kind of last major historic buildings there in town. And we've been in existence since 1983. We were founded by contemporary artist Ross Spencer, who wanted to bring contemporary art of living artists to town. And so she had this vision and she opened a couple different galleries. And through the years, those became the museum. And we landed at the post office in 1990 and just celebrated our 40th anniversary in 2023.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing to be in business and, displaying art for that long. Congratulations.
Thank you.
40 years.
So Lisa, how did you stumble into the position of art director? I know you have to kind of be a jack of all trades, but how did you come across this?
Well, it's interesting. I have a kind of a unique background because I've been involved with the arts my whole entire life. I started out as a dancer and a musician and majored in art history and music in college, and then went straight up to New York City after college and decided that I wanted to become more involved in art in whatever way that took me. And I wasn't sure. So I ended up getting a master's degree in curatorial studies and found this position back in 2014. And I had actually been out in Casper as the curator at the Nicolason Art Museum, which is a contemporary art museum in Casper. And that's how I kind of got involved with the West and,
In this scene?
yeah, and to know the West as a region. And I'd been out here for vacations and everything and fell in love with it. So when this job presented itself, I kind of jumped at it because Fort Collins for me was where I wanted to live. It wasn't New York City and it wasn't Casper. It was like kind of something right in between.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And, I had been in the arts at that point for about 15 years in different capacities. Actually, I was a curator at Pfizer, one of their corporate curators, and then had run an academic gallery at Rowan University. I was looking to get back to museums. So it was a perfect place and perfect job. And I've been here now 10 years and I love it.
Sounds great. It sounds like a wonderful job. So what are some of the upcoming events that you guys have? Can you highlight some of those for us?
Sure. Well, we're right at the tail end of our biggest fundraiser right now called Masks. And it's in its 21st year, which for an event, it's pretty incredible. Events don't usually last over 2 decades. I mean, maybe 5 years at the most. So this is a
Absolutely.
really long one and beloved by the community. And I would say because it is such a community event, it's like a lot of other fundraisers where, actually with this one, we create these clay masks and send them out to the community. And there's an open call and we get about 350 people applying for 250 spots. So there's always a long waiting list. And then they give them back to us as artwork and then we sell them to benefit the museum and the programs.
Do you have any masks left to purchase? Are they all been taken care of? Do they go pretty quickly?
Well, with this, how it works, obviously it's changed over the years, but how it works now is starting in 2020, we switched it to an online auction because we used to have it manual where you would kind of like scribble your bid up on the wall. So COVID changed all that. So now it's all online, which I kind of like. And we tried to figure out a hybrid way to do it, but we couldn't do it. And so the end of the auction is this Friday, June 6th. So everything is up to, I can't speak either. On
It's okay. It's okay.
on sale up through Friday at 9 o'clock p.m.
Well, I'm definitely gonna, I don't know when this is going to air, but I'm definitely gonna highlight that on all of our social media and different things like that, just so that we can get some more attention and get some more people checking out and maybe be able to get you guys a little bit more exposure. See, I can't speak. Exposure out there. I think that that's a pretty wonderful thing. So you were saying, so what are some of the other events that you do throughout the year that, I mean, having something that lasts 23 years is amazing. Having a whole promotion that lasts that long, sometimes, things are hit and miss. So what are some of the other ones that you've done that are more, maybe a little bit more seasonal? I cannot. Wilson, you need to start talking, dude. I'm out.
It's been a long day, huh? Been a long day over there. Well, it's 5 o'clock in Missouri over here. So, all right, what do we got for fundraisers over there, Lisa? What else we got going on throughout the calendar year?
Masks is pretty much our biggest one, and it's the one that we focused a lot of our resources on, and it actually takes a whole year to plan it. So it takes a lot of our energy. And, anyone who's worked in nonprofits and events will tell you kind of putting all your eggs in the event basket isn't always the best strategy because it can be hit or miss. So we don't really have that many other events that we do consistently. We are creating a new one for this year, which is more of an art sale where we're going to ask the community for artworks. Like if there's works in your collection that you don't want in your collection anymore, give them to us, donate them to us, and we'll sell them for like 2.5 days in the fall for this kind of big weekend art sale.
Oh, cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's one that we created.
A lot of people do stuff with Colorado Gives. Do you do anything with them? Or, I'm guessing you also have like online donation links and stuff like that nowadays too.
Yeah, we do the Colorado Gives Day that happens in that first Tuesday in December.
Mhm.
And then we've kind of got our own online donation platform. So we don't necessarily need to use theirs except for that
Sure,
particular day.
sure, sure. Like you did, what is like, is there a cost to get in there? Or do you have like concessions or stuff like that?
With the museum, well, and that kind of gets into our MOA for All program, but museum, it costs about $10 to get in for adults, $8 for students, but we give free admission to all of CSU students, Poudre School District students, Front Range students, and we give an education discount to teachers coming in. We have a lot of other programs like free admission for veterans and currently serving military families, programs like reciprocal programs with the library, with other museums. So lots of different ways. We've got free First Fridays to get
The
the
first Fridays, okay.
yeah. So always trying to figure out different creative ways to get people who may not come into the museum normally to look at what we're offering.
Right. And it's
Well,
something that doesn't take a year of planning as well. Something you
Right.
do with more consistency.
And 1,000 hours of staff time.
Right, right, right.
well, and you were saying something about a fashion show. So do you have
Mm.
any other like little events that are going on to bring in different aspects into the museum?
Mhm. Yeah, we partnered with Tula Boutique last year to do their fall fashion show, which was great. And they were so generous because they donated all of the ticket proceeds right back to the museum. And that came out to, I think, between $4,000 or $5,000. And we just gave them the whole gallery and they did the whole catwalk. So that's something that is fun and unique that I'd love to keep on doing.
So this
Yeah.
is something that's pretty good idea. So you guys are a venue.
Oh, and another thing.
We can rent you out.
Uh-huh. We do have rentals all the time. And do you know the music festival Foco MX that happens in April?
I've heard
Yes.
of it. I haven't attended.
Oh, it's so fun. Literally, the whole downtown is just filled with music in every nook and cranny. And we've done that festival now for 2 years. So we open up the whole museum, basically the main gallery, to music for, I guess, was it Friday, Saturday night? And it's great. We're getting 1,000 people in every night. So I love it.
Oh, that's amazing.
When is that?
It's usually, I think it's the last weekend in April, 24th, 25th, maybe the 17th, 18th, something in that range.
Sure. So it just passed.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. What was the weather like out in Colorado during that? I've just been gone like in Missouri building this branch a little bit. So I've experiencing some humidity and 80-degree weather out here. But I kind of forget what the April's pretty hit or miss, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be chancy. Last year it was incredibly cold. This year was kind of coldish and rainy. You know,
You like right now?
yeah. The weirdest spring we've ever had.
Hey
They were
man,
saying,
it's weird everywhere. I just survived a tornado not too long ago. It was nutty.
Oh,
they
wow.
actually were saying that we've actually had more rain than Seattle has.
I can believe it.
What?
So,
And it's hard to
yep.
tell.
You
Yeah.
guys have had that much rain? Come on.
What are the long-term goals of the museum?
Long-term goals, well, we like to be the place, we want to be the place for community to gather for art. And with our different programs that we have and the different exhibitions that we do, we're trying to really reach out in different ways to the community. And that's something that's been kind of our focus for the last couple years. And it really is a big goal because we look at our demographics and you look at the demographics of Fort Collins and, it's 80 to 86% white, I think like 11% Latino and, 5% other, something like that. Most of the people who come through the museum are women 55 and older. So we'd like to expand that. And so with the exhibitions that I brought in, that's kind of changed over the last 10 years or so. We used to bring in pretty major blockbusters as much as we could. Like I did an exhibition of Norman Rockwell's Saturday Evening Post covers and
Wow.
Frida Kahlo and Salvador Dali, Picasso prints. And those are great. They really help kind of raise the profile of the museum. And then I guess over the last 4 or 5 years, I've also brought in more socially conscious exhibitions, ones that focus on the environment or Latino artists or Native American artists or Black culture. So again, trying to reach out in different ways to make it a place for the community to come and where everyone can feel that they're welcome.
Diversity.
Mhm.
So what are some of your upcoming exhibits?
Well, for this year, so masks will close on Friday, then we've got about a 3-week installation time frame. So from, what is it, July through mid-September, we have an exhibition that's curated by Hamida Glasgow, and she used to be the director of the Center for Photography in town before that closed down. And this is an exhibition of 6 national artists, and actually international too, called Beyond Resilience, and it deals with violence against women. So all these particular artists are have different projects that deal with violence and oppression against women. And then for the
Really?
fall exhibition, it's basically a group exhibition curated by a Native American artist, Greg Deal, about Colorado Native artists. So that should be very exciting.
And that's in the fall, you said?
Mhm.
Very cool.
Is there outdoor space there for the venue?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Like anything in the summer going on? Kids running around? What's that looking like?
We have a program that we do in July called Art in the Plaza, which we love. So it's all free. And we basically open up to anyone who wants to come because we have Oak Street Plaza that's right next door to us, in between us
Yeah.
and First Interstate Bank. So we have this art program outside, and it's put together by one of our visitor services associates. And so we do a theme basically every year, or every week. And like, for example, last year we did, oh, it was like Michelangelo drawing. So we brought out chairs and put them down on the plaza, and then all the kids got underneath the chairs and did drawings, like they were on
Oh, how nice.
15 Chapel.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was great. And then
This is all through July.
yeah.
I'll be back in July. I'm gonna come check that out.
And sometimes we get adults too, which is great.
That's
Wilson would be
cool.
under there. I would probably try doing it. Then
I
my
mean, that's fun, you know what I mean? And like you were saying, trying to bring in new faces, new generations, new, different diversity in general, starting with the kids, getting them
Yeah.
more interested young.
Yeah, and really getting them I mean, because we're so inherently creative when we're young, and you want to keep that
Uh-huh.
going. Because I feel like, and it happened with me. I can remember being in high school, and I wanted to do art, and the art teacher was like, "Yeah, you're no good." I'm like, "What? I'm no good?" Just that
Right.
it gets beaten out of you over time. So that's just
yeah.
not fair.
Well, it's
No,
so
so
limited in school, draw this, and
Mhm.
then, you know what I mean? You're just trying to mimic someone else, and that's definitely not art in my eyes,
Yeah.
you
what other
know?
collaborations do you do with businesses around there? You were talking about how, you're sharing your space with Agave, the restaurant. So are there any other collaborations that you do other than having someone come in and rent the space? So I did hear you say rentals, and I think that's so interesting that someone could come in and, rent the space and be able to show it off. Do you have any other collaborations like that with, fundraising or dinner parties so where do you take that role?
Well, a couple different directions. Obviously, with events, we have sponsors. So
Mm.
with masks, we have many corporate sponsors, and they also get to rent out the facility for free as a perk of their sponsorship. But kind of the main collaborative arm is what we do with Mower for All and our community curated conversations. Say that 3 times. This is a
Nope, you get to.
This is a great one where we partner with a lot of social service organizations like La Familia or Crossroads Safe House or what is it? Healing Warriors, different social service organizations in town, and then we kind of give them the space upstairs to do an exhibition related to the themes that their nonprofit is dealing with, whether it's you know PTSD or
Sure.
violence against women or something like that,
Sure.
then they can do an exhibition and have conversations with their clients and audiences and bring us in if they want to. And it's really, really, really powerful.
I mean, I'm always selfishly thinking because we're both in the networking world and events and anything we can do to find the next cool venue, and it's always great to have a venue that supports a nonprofit, so I like that. I like that. I'm over here brainstorming on us needing to do a Fort Collins event.
Well,
You-
we were just blessed to interview Foco Cafe.
Oh,
Very,
yes.
very blessed. And I was like going, well, how could we like mix the two of those together and do a really cool event? So what does your corporate sponsorship look like? Like what is the investment there? Like how can businesses step in and help the museum or sponsor something?
Hmm. It kind of depends. There's a lot of different levels. Like if you take mass, for example, we've got different levels, 250, 500, 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000. So different levels get you different perks and different levels of exposure. With I think, yeah, and corporations can also sponsor exhibitions as well at different levels, 2,500, $5,000. And then you can rent the museum as a perk and have different meet artist events and smaller events that are more intimate with creative people who are part of the exhibition. And I
So you're
think,
going to get marketing spaces, marketing opportunities,
yeah.
usage of the facility, and then which it's a mutually beneficial relationship at that point.
Hmm. And I love the fact that we're in such a historic building because, I love when historic buildings get repurposed like we do.
Yeah.
And we've been very creative over the last couple years in using our space in different ways. Like I used to have kind of a beautiful corner office and just faced right onto college. And we changed that into a conference room. And then we've got two safes that, if the whole entire building fell down, these safes would still be there because this was from, the post office and it's where
Yeah.
the coins and the stamps and everything. So we, through a proposal from two CSU art professors, we changed that into a small jewel box gallery now that they program kind of in tangent with what's going on in the main exhibition gallery.
That's
So they got rid
really,
of your office. You got rid of your office, huh?
Yeah, so now I float.
That's a
And
true director right there.
and the main thing is that we actually have a ghost in the building. And we
Oh, you share the broom closet with her, and this is
I
your office, don't you?
what I'm hearing is a haunted tour in October
Yeah,
of the museum. That sounds like a pretty cool event.
There we go.
yeah, it is so strange because we call him George and he's been around for a long time and we've had many, many, many weird experiences with him over the years.
So, okay, I'm gonna need to hear about George. Are we just talking creaky floorboards, or is he the one, turning off the water? What's George up to? Let's hear a
You,
couple of those.
you can definitely hear footsteps at different times. And there's been a couple times that I've been by myself. It's always when I'm by myself. There's never anyone else around.
Of course, that's the scariest.
Yeah. And the music comes on, our PA system comes on just out of the blue.
You're kidding me.
Oh, and this has happened more than once. And
So hold on a minute. You're by yourself and this PA system will come on.
mhm,
See, I don't doubt anything, especially the unknown, because hey, it's a 50-50 shot. It exists or it doesn't.
yeah,
I'd rather err on the side of caution.
I think I'm
So, I
doing a
mean,
ghost
are
tour in
you trying to,
October.
yeah, are you grabbing your keys and trying to lock up and get out to the car as quickly as possible or what?
it
That
is
sounds
weird.
spooky.
I have to say, it is strange. And we had a former staff member who said, we've got kind of temporary walls in front of windows to give us more exhibition space. And she said one time one of the walls was just like shaking back and forth. I was like, oh my,
No
George didn't
way.
appreciate it there.
yeah, exactly. So, and the thing is that the museum is built on an old graveyard, an old military graveyard. So,
So you may have more, it's like a mouse. If there's one, there's a bunch. So if there's one George, there's probably a bunch of Georges.
yeah.
It's George and all his homies. That's what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, yeah. It's yeah. Oh my goodness gracious.
We could create a
I mean, I
band.
get spooked pretty easily. I mean, that kind of stuff. I remember growing up, I'd run out of the basement. You turn that light off, you got to run out of the basement. You don't want to wait around and see what's going to happen.
Hmm.
Now, it sounds like they're gentle at least. If they haven't, nothing's fallen on anybody, right?
No, no, God knows, no.
No one stepped on a rake in the backyard or anything.
And we've got lots of, power tools and X-Acto blades and all kinds of stuff back in our prep room space.
So far, safe and sound. I mean, I would probably be hollering out a little bit. Hey, George, I got to put in a couple more hours. Just work with me here.
We do talk to him just in case.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You don't want to you don't want to make him mad.
Well,
Mm-mm.
I can't imagine a cooler space to hang out in, though. If you're going to haunt something, haunting an art museum should be at the top of your list.
Right.
Like, if you want to see
Especially,
something cool and different and culturally diverse and all of those things, I think he's picked a pretty good spot.
yep, I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to apologize, Lisa. I just took that down a rabbit hole, and I'm like, and now I can't stop, because now I'm thinking about Ghostbusters 2. It wasn't an art museum, okay? But anyway, I like the outdoor events for the kids and all the big name events. Even for me, I'm not real savvy with art, and a lot of those names I recognize, and I think that's what draws a lot of people in there too. And knowing that pace can be used as a venue, that's big, a mutually beneficial relationship to keep you guys going, and a space for people like us to do networking events and whatnot. I think that'd
And
be great just to have a random networking event once a week there. You know,
and we
I'd
do
go
a
for
Yeah.
lot
five
of
bucks.
networking events. We do chamber events, red carpet events.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of the kind of meet and greet events over time too.
Right, because, I mean, everybody in our industry, just for example, just for a revenue source of some kind, I'd pay $5 bi-monthly to go to that,
Mhm.
donate, go meet, throw a name tag on, and have some appetizers.
So Lisa, what are the hours of the art museum? And do you have special hours during the summer?
All the hours are the same, except when we're closed for installation. So Wednesday, Thursday, we're open 10 to 5, Friday, 10 to 7, Saturdays, 10 to 5, and then Sundays, 12 to 5.
That's
So
awesome. And so
Wednesday through Sunday.
Hmm. Yep, and then we're
Yeah.
closed Monday, Tuesdays.
And then so how long does it take you in between installations? Because we have the mask thing going on, and then you guys will be switching.
About 2.5 weeks and just because we're not super large, we close everything down because everything
Yeah.
is over at the same time.
No,
That's
that
a
sounds,
project, isn't it?
Is what?
Switching everything over and just redoing the whole place. That's got to be all hands on deck, huh?
Yeah, it is. It is. And especially with something like Mask where we're hanging, 250 pieces in a short amount of time.
Roofed. Long days those
Yeah,
days.
it takes a lot. I
So
think
go see it, folks, because that takes a lot of work.
that's right. When we had the Norman Rockwell exhibition, we had to hang 323 of his covers. So that we brought in
What?
community members to help us hang because it was just, I don't think we could have gotten it done otherwise.
no, yeah. And I'm sure that takes off. So what does your volunteerism look like? Like, how can someone volunteer and help out the museum?
We're always looking for volunteers, a lot for installation, events, event management, board service. We've got a lot of different committees. So kind of, we do tend to get some interns through CSU and Front Range,
Oh, yeah, I bet.
and they help with, social media, marketing, curatorial. But basically, if anyone's interested in any kind of area, we can usually find some kind of spot.
Sorry
Excellent.
about
Can
that.
people sign up online on your website as well? As long as and donate as well?
Yeah, donate, yes, and I'm actually have that on my list to work on because we have an ability with our software, like our donor software, to do volunteer applications. So I need to get that up and running. So right now I don't have a place for it. I haven't gotten it up yet, but
So they come in and ask. I think we're getting the portion of the show where we're going to start showing the viewers, listeners, how to donate, how to sign up, and I think they just come on in, sign up for volunteer positions for now, and anything else donation wise, or you got contact forms for the venue or sponsorships online as well, right?
yeah, we've got a whole rental page where you can look at the different rental spaces and see what they
Oh,
cost, and they're all for different sizes and types of events.
Sure,
and
that's cool.
what all social media can people reach out to you on, and how can they do that?
Mostly Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, I think just those two for now.
Yeah,
And
that'll work.
And our
and
handles
what's your
Collins. MO
pardon?
MOA Fort Collins is our handle.
Okay.
That's what I was going to ask, is what's your handle?
MOA Fort Collins.
Well, that's
Okay.
wonderful. We'll do a bunch of shout outs. Definitely going to follow you on Facebook and Instagram. Have some fun with that and make sure we can get some people connecting with you and bring some exposure then to the art museum. I can't wait to come check it out. I'm just sad I'm going to have to wait 2 weeks.
Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate all of the time and the exposure. It's great.
Well,
Yeah, that's what we're here to do, short interviews and just trying to expose as much and highlight the area as much as we can. And we'll be sharing this on social media and all of our personal platforms as well.
yeah, I just don't want anyone walking past and not knowing that you guys are a great little place to check out.
Right.
Mhm.
And we do get that comment a lot that people are like, I didn't know we had an art museum in town. So,
I mean,
Isn't
I
that
didn't
I
know.
yeah, let's do it. Let's make sure everyone knows where you're at, when they can come see you, and what a cool space you have. So I'll be taking pictures off of your website, doing things like that, just to kind of shoot all that social media. I'm very
Mhm.
blessed, kind of like you. I kind of have an intern. She's called Grace. She's my daughter. And I'm like, go steal a bunch of pictures off that website and let's do an Insta reel. So she's gonna hook me up and we'll make sure that everything gets shared with you, Lisa, so that you can pop it out there to the media as well.
oh, thank you. That's great.
It's awesome talking with you.
Yeah, and I am so sorry that I almost want to redo. But I'm gonna go check out
Hey,
masks when we hang up, when we get off. I'm checking out masks right away because I can only imagine how many masks did you say there were?
224. And for the majority of them, they're not artists. They're community members. So they're real estate agents and lawyers, doctors, nurses, teachers. It's everyone from the community.
So you
and
send them like
Anne's up there quite a bit.
I love Fort Collins. Honestly, I'm in Thornton, Westminster right now. I actually have a rental property in Fort Collins because that's where my kids went to school. And I go up there a lot. I went to Sweet
Mhm.
Gardens and I went peony picking at
Oh,
the flower gardens.
lovely.
I can't wait to try the cafe. I love going downtown. I honestly, you can't find cuter shops than in downtown Fort Collins. Like
They really are. I mean, they're just so, they're beautifully curated and beautiful. I mean, they're just, I love them.
they're just amazing. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not even kidding you. Like, you would go into these shops. It's kind of so, and I grew up in Nebraska. So, like, the small town shop, like, you walk in and the wood creaks because the building is a little bit older and it's like wall to wall cute stuff. It's not like, forgive me, because some places aren't cute. They're just tacky.
Mhm.
And I have to say that I have not seen that in downtown Fort Collins. I don't see tacky thing. I just see like anyway. So I am just so excited that I love going down and spending the day. So I am definitely going to be able to spend the day and check out the art museum because again, it's a gorgeous town and there's so many fun things to do.
Yeah, I would heartily agree. I love the town. Love what we do at the museum. I love being part of the downtown business community. It's great.
Nice.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. And when I'm there, I'm gonna even write you a little note. Hi, Lisa. It was Ann. I stopped by. So, anyway, well,
Oh,
you
thank
have a wonderful evening, and like the rest of us, we'll all be praying for some sunshine.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. This is Ann Wymore with Navigate Realty. And if you missed important information from this episode, check us out on Facebook at Northern Vibes Colorado.
And this is Will Miller with Source Mortgage Group. Also follow us on YouTube at Northern Vibes CO.